Belmont, bouncy pop punk, as they self-describe themselves, are actually about to do a 10-year anniversary tour for one of my favorite EPs of all time called Between You and Me. They do like this genty pop punk blend, and it's really cool. And they lean kind of into like hip hop aesthetics too, like the big chains and trap beats and stuff like that. So I liked this post. I didn't realize that this was AI. I didn't look that deep. I just see three chuds. I assume it's like Fish Islands. I didn't like look too deep. I liked it, and then I saw this, whatever. But then I'm on Reddit. Apparently, Taz, the vocalist of the band, is actually like going crazy. Not going crazy, but he's like kind of clapping back at anyone that is like saying, yo, what the fuck? Why are you using AI? So let's read this Reddit post, see what people are saying, and we'll take a deeper look at this photo because it very obviously is AI. The hands all fucked up here. I don't know what the hell's going on over here, right? Even these hands are like weird. Like, it looks like shit. It's AI, right? Bro, you could have done this yourself like fairly easily. You know what I mean? Belmont posts AI image to promote new tour. Singer only comments hot dog emoji to anyone calling out the AI. Which, by the way, I think they did this for a reason. But we'll get to that in a second. The AI is pretty blatant, but if you need proof, check out the hands at the bottom right. There's a detached hand blending into the wrist and extra fingers, no arm attached. Yeah, and they're referring to, I don't know, can you guys see this well? I don't know if I need to zoom in more. I'm sure I don't need to, but like you should be able to see like, yeah, this is so fucky, very obviously AI. Personally, I think it's a bad move to use AI at all, especially on purpose. And then to, wait, what? How do you, hold on. Wait. I'm sorry, dude. How do you use AI by accident? What do you- wait, what do you mean, especially on purpose? I mean, maybe they mean like if you have a social media manager, right? Maybe your social media manager is using AI and without your permission, and maybe that's what they mean. And then to double down when called out on it. Hot Mulligan accidentally used AI once, and I think their response was perfect. They got a refund from their creator, apologized for the AI use, and then reposted it. Reposted a handmade poster instead. Okay, now I get it. All I had to do was keep reading. Okay, so what basically what they're saying is like, okay, you could use AI by accident if you pay someone like, hey, artist or editor, can you make me this? They present you an AI art thing, and then that's how you accidentally post it. Okay, now I understand. I know there's a minority of people that don't really care about AI, but as supporters of music and art, I think it's a responsibility on the parts of those of us who do care about the use of AI to call it out. It's easy to dismiss this because it's not that serious or it's funny, but once we start letting artists get away with AI on promo posters, merch, and social media posts, it's a very small slippery slope before it starts showing up in the music itself. And to me, that's my concern, right? When I see a band is like using AI, my immediate concern is like, okay, is the floodgates now open to actually use it in your music, right? Because once you start listening to music and you find out it's AI, who knows? Maybe that's happening and I have no idea, but I doubt it. But I'd imagine if like let's say Belmont came out with a fucking banger track and it turns out it's like AI, I would feel a sense of betrayal. I think openly using AI immediately it immediately takes trust away from the viewer, fan, etc. I don't want to listen to music made by people who don't respect real artists enough to use AI and then double down on it. I've seen Belmont twice and had fun at both shows, but I definitely won't see them again unless they change this kind of behavior. Otherwise, there's plenty of other acts to discover and see. I feel like lately, especially, people have been a little bit more open to AI usage in like the comedy space. For example, there's one guy. Have you guys seen this guy? So basically, the whole thing is he has like this little AI friend. This guy right here, it's a red panda, right? Talking to him and basically like, yeah, hit the blunt, my N word, right? And just like saying shit that you would hear your homies say. And I'm bad at like explaining what it is, but basically it's funny. And admittedly, it is a funny video. However, it's a weird gray area because it's like, okay, I find it funny. However, because AI is the main comedic factor, is it bad that I think it's funny? It feels like if the AI video is funny enough, you can get away with it, is how it feels right now. Speaking from like my personal opinion, I'm gonna keep it a buck. I also feel like, yeah, AI is bad, but because everyone is starting to use it, I'm not saying that I'm like in support of AI, right? But I feel like AI in my mind is starting to become normalized. I'm not saying that like, oh, I'm an AI supporter, but I guess now with it being just so flooded, it's starting to feel like it's a point of like, why bother trying to combat it? Everyone is using it. Not to say I'm gonna not combat it, but I'm just saying that like it's starting to feel normalized with me and my feed and all the content getting fed to me, and it's getting so annoying. And there's another factor of it, I'm starting to get fatigued. It's also the problem of curating your algorithm. If you want / engage with AI content, you'll see more. If you scroll away and check the don't show me this button or whatever, you're gonna see less. But like even in spaces where I'm not expecting AI, it's getting pushed in my face, like a random YouTube video I stumble upon, right? I watch Joe Bart a lot. He literally reacts to videos that are AI scripted, and he doesn't realize that, and he watches YouTube a lot, right? I bring that up to say that like AI is literally being secretly fed to you. With all that being said, like I'm starting to feel like a doomer when it comes to like the whole AI thing. And even I, as I say every time, I use AI to ensure that my scripts are as close to factually correct as it possibly can be. Right? And I think AI is okay in like medical fields and blah blah blah. I say this literally every single time we talk about AI because I don't want somebody to be like, "Oh, Vizzy hypocrite," right? But I think AI should stay away. You shouldn't rely on AI for your art. I'd be doing that too. I just try not to let AI do any writing for me. I just have it proofread and fact check. Exactly, right? Because it's the worst feeling when it's like, I can't believe you said there's 4 members instead of 5. I want to ensure shit like that don't slip out the cracks. Anyway, I don't want to stray too far away from the topic at hand. With all that being said, Belmont doing this whole AI thing, it feels like because they're in the music field, it's inappropriate. You know what I mean? And then you got like a dude like me not even realizing it's AI liking this shit. But I'll admit it's funny. I thought it was funny. I liked it and I kept it pushing, right? It is a funny thing. Now, I think the band, right? I think it's a PR stunt. I think the band knew this is a big tour, right? I feel like they don't really need to push, but I guess they want people to know that this is happening, right? So they're like, "Oh, I know what would get people talking, using AI." And like Belmont, I feel like are low-key open to hate. Like, for example, Dance Gavin Dance, when they announced that tour with See You Space Cowboy and blah blah blah, the whole tour that actually ended up breaking up See You Space Cowboy, Belmont without hesitation, I don't give a fuck. Yeah, let me get in that bitch, right? I think Belmont literally they just don't give a fuck. And it shows because in this Reddit post, we see that Taz, the vocalist of Belmont, is actually like kind of firing back at some comments, not really. Trash the Midwest emo band actually commented, "This is not a good post." AI, why? Somebody says it's not AI, which I think this guy, like, if you look at this and say it's not AI, I think there's something like like straight up wrong with you. Like, I think you need to see someone. No, ain't no fucking way Belmont uses AI. And then this is the vocalist here, Taz. He's literally commenting a hot dog emoji on like almost anyone that like criticizes their AI work. And I don't understand the joke. Is it that like, oh, we're fat and eat hot dogs? Is that the joke? I guess the argument is, why use AI when you can pay a graphic designer? But what graphic designer is going to be like, yeah, sure, I'll make you fat. I think paying I think paying a graphic designer to make you fat, stupid use for resources, right? But they're like, oh yeah, I want to do a meme, blah blah blah. I feel like if your friend from high school did this, you wouldn't bat an eye. But because this is like a big bandwidth influence, right? It like takes trust away from the listener. And it's also like you're openly like, hey guys, it's okay to use AI in a creative field, even though this poster isn't necessarily like a creative thing. I guess it is. I don't know, man. I feel like lines are kind of gray. This was definitely a PR stunt, right? This was definitely like, hey, we want to promote our shit. Let's purposefully use this absolutely shitty AI slop that is very obviously AI to get people talking. You know what I'm saying? That is, I feel like that is very obvious. Like, I feel like it's very obvious, because if they were trying to hide that it was AI or whatever, or like, bro, it feels like this is like, they didn't even try. They put in a prompt. They said, whatever it spits out, just use it, right? Because this is obvious, right? They don't care about that. They don't care about whatever's going on over here, homie's fucking left nipple or whatever, right? They knew this was going to get people talking. That's why they uploaded it. Me making this video, me talking about this on stream, is what they want. Let's read some Reddit comments. Musicians that use AI artwork are paving the way for creators to prompt songs better than they can write. Oof. Yeah, I don't know why they'd embrace fucking over artists when it's gonna come for their side of things just as much. Like, there's already enough AI bands out there fooling people. I guess that's also another factor, right? Where it's like, it feels like, okay, AI music is eventually going to be like fed to us without us realizing. That if I was in a band, I'd be kind of freaking out about that. I'd be low key like, oh shit. Like, I feel like, especially if I was in a band, I'd like do what I can to like combat the AI issue. You know what I mean? I don't want my job taken by some fucking AI. Like, if you're in a band, you're living the dream job. I don't want that shit taken away. For real, I'm not spending $50 on overpriced merch that a real person didn't even make. What's that referring to? I don't think this is merch. If this was like merch, I'd be a little bit more pissed, but this is literally just like a promo thing. Who said their merch is AI created? If you're willing to do it for something small, you'll do it for something big. Once you've broken the seal, your line has been pushed back and your threshold for doing it is now different. I guess that's kind of what I was trying to say earlier. They just like rage baited the entire pop punk scene without like, I feel like 70% of them don't realize you're getting rage baited. So yeah, that's that whole drama. My final take is it was just like very obviously for promotion, and it just worked. It just worked. Everyone, including me and us in chat, are yapping about it. And Belmont, they're no strangers to like controversy, I guess. They had like allegations with like their old bassist or guitarist or something. They dropped that motherfucker so quick. But it's like, so I feel like that tells us when it comes to like, I guess, more serious allegations, they're willing to like cut somebody off. Like, you're not fucking with the bread, right? You're not fucking with our career. But they're down to like thread that controversial line to get us talking about them. And I think that is like very obvious.